All right. Hello, Jazzie crew. Happy Monday. Listen, it's a fantastic Monday, December 22nd, 2025. There's one more Monday where I am going to say that it is in the year of 2025. How do y'all feel about that? Are y'all excited about 2026? Because I know that I am. Listen, before we get into this live broadcast, into episode 169, if you are a friend of the show and if you are definitely a part of my Jazzie crew, I need you to do something very simple but very critical to the growth of this podcast. And it's very simple. All you have to do is go ahead and share this broadcast. Make sure that if you are following me on YouTube, that you subscribe to that channel. You hit the notifications bell in the top right corner. Make sure you like it. Make sure that you are engaging. I know that you are engaging because you will leave us a review in the comment section. Make sure you are following me. You are liking this podcast on Facebook, IG, YouTube, and on your favorite podcast platform. You are in tune to episode 169 of the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast. Here, this podcast celebrates the power of the comeback. I truly believe that you can come back from anything with God, using the right resources effectively, and your willingness to do the necessary work. All three of those things coupled together will get you your comeback story. So, here on this podcast, this award-winning podcast, you know that I love some things, but one of the things that I love the most is a great goal digger. That's GOAL digger, someone who's ambitious, someone who rises above any obstacle that comes their way. And boy, oh boy, do I have a special guest for you tonight because she encompasses just that. And so that's why she is my special guest for tonight. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my special guest, Miss Iris Shepard, Miss Iris. And so she was born and raised in Polk County, which I absolutely love. Now, she is your everyday woman striving for excellence. And I love a woman like that. She is a mother of two daughters, and she raises them both to understand the truth about life and its adversities. In an imperfect world, Irish has used her creativity to build a name in podcasting since April of 2023, where her first podcast was birthed. Her platform holds a space for those who influence winning over losing. That's my type of woman. No matter what trials or tribulations they may face. The Unapologetically You podcast was created in the summer of 2025 as a fresh start due to the demise of the P Room podcast. Now, this new and upcoming project is completely built from the heart and from the soul of Iris, her creative visions. With this relaunch as a solo podcaster, welcome, sister girl. Now, she gracefully follows her passion of using her platform to heal and also to build others. With a background in communicating with people all over the United States, Iris has learned there is a purpose in telling your true story. I want you to make sure that you are following the Unapologetically You podcast on all podcast streaming platforms. Subscribe to her YouTube channel because this podcast is here to impact the real world, one conversation at a time. Without further ado, I am going to bring Miss Iris on the stage. How are you, beautiful?
I'm just fine. And how are you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing
You
amazing.
look
Now, the
pretty.
first thing I'm looking at when I see you is this red lippy. I love a good lippy. Let's get into the details of that, please.
Well, I have to give the credit to my makeup artist, Shanessa. She's in Lake Wells. She is basically the lady that beats me to the gods
Hey.
90% of the time.
Uh-huh.
And I want to say it may be Fenty. Maybe. We have a couple of different that we go through,
Mm-hmm.
but it's fun. And I think it's becoming of my logo colors. So
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be bringing it soon to some merch because, hey, girls have fun with blonde and red lips.
I love it. I love everything about it. Listen, I'm a girly girl, and so I love a good red lippy. I love a good hot pink lippy, a little mauve matte lippy. All of them are great. And like I actually am wearing, I think this is Lynx lip gloss, and I'm also wearing a little elf. I love a little elf now and then, a little economical sales going on in plum and in blush. And so those are my colors that I went to today. I knew you were going to be wearing your red lippy, and almost I almost put on that little ruby roo, but I was like, I'm feeling my pink today.
I, she's
I
safe.
almost
I'm
did
safe
it.
with her. I am safe with her.
Yeah, yeah. So listen, I wanted to get into who you are. I met you at an event, and I was introduced to you as being another podcast host. And I'm going to tell you your presence when you came in. We had the opportunity to do a one-on-one with Mr. David Shands himself, which by the way is one of my favorite podcasters in the land. He has a seven-figure plus podcast. He's making incredible moves, in this podcast space. And when I started podcasting, he was one of the first people that someone suggested that I follow, and I get to learn what his model for podcasting is. And so when you walked in, you brought full presence with you, and I was just like, okay, I like her. I like her a lot because you were confident, and you were assured of what you were doing, and it spoke volumes. And so tell me, what does that confidence come from, and then tell me, how is this podcast land treating you?
Whew. Double question. So
Yes.
confidence comes from, I honestly, we are all people.
Yeah.
I may have a big forehead, you may have big eyes. And so at the end of the day, what I love most about myself, I'm going to accentuate it. And what I don't love the most, I'm going to camouflage it. So I'm
Yeah.
walking in the room regardless of who's there as the head woman in charge. Even if I'm just an attendee, I'm going to walk in there looking good so that it'll speak for me.
Yeah, I love that, and that whole confidence is key, especially when you are trying to make your podcast marketable, and
Mhm.
when you are trying to make sure that it is an everlasting podcast in this podcast space. We have someone that said clock it. Yeah, she's clocking it. Thank you for tuning in. And so in this space of podcasting, what on earth made you want to be a podcast host, Iris? Tell us the story.
Well, I kind of always socialize and talk with my friends in intimate settings. And then with my P Room podcast ladies, we would talk on the phone in a group,
Yeah.
and it was very healthy, productive conversation. So that was what stemmed the podcast ordeal, because we see podcasts all the time.
Mhm.
Some of them are extremely interesting, and then some of them are like not your niche or whatever.
Yeah.
However, I'm just like, we have so much to talk about. Let's share this with the world.
Yeah.
And a few other girls, they had the same idea as well. So it was an idea, and everybody was like, it's a good idea. And we just started one little step at a time. And honestly, with getting started,
Yeah.
it was like I was already home. So it probably was already somewhere living inside of me, but
Mm-hmm.
physically, like getting into the motions of meeting and the putting the topics together, conversing, the ideas, it came so easy to me.
Yeah.
So you know how they say you already had a seat in the room even when you wasn't in the room.
Yeah.
My seat has
Absolutely.
always been waiting on me, so it was just
Absolutely.
meant to be.
So listen, in that space, because I don't know if you get this like I get it, but when people find out that I do have a podcast, or if they find out how long I've been in the podcasting game, they're always asking for advice, or they will just tell me, listen, this is something that I really want to do. Like, oh yeah, because I want to start my podcast too. And there are some things that I tell them, but I wonder, what do you share with people when they approach you, or do you have people that approach you that way?
It's always going to be a yes, because I feel like with anything in the world, if you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Yeah.
there's a human, like I use this analogy all my life. If I want to know how to build a house, it's another human building a house. So all I got to do is apply myself enough and I'm going to be able to build that house.
Yeah.
So when you ask about podcasting, and I'm not a gatekeeper, so what I know, I'll share it with you, and you take your authenticity of your own and put it with it, and everybody in the room can have a podcast, and they all can be individually different,
Mhm.
unique.
What makes your podcast unique?
Because I am a very optimistic thinker, right?
Yeah.
I never give you a direct answer. I'm always going to give you a variety of answers. And I feel like that's what I want to bring with my podcast. Even though it aligns with other people's podcasts, with me and what I think and how I think. And I'm like, but you can put a little segment of this in there. You can do a little segment of that in there. And so I always have my friends, they're like, no, Iris, you got to stick to one thing. I'm like, no, not in my world. You can
Yeah.
take them and, long as it makes sense, it may be the first time in the world that somebody likes my uniqueness.
Hmm. So sitting at that table, I'm gonna do deja vu with you, right? And I want you to formulate that same question. I want you to formulate that same question, that same answer and confidence that you gave the man, David Shands, podcast guru, when he's like, "Well, why would I want to listen to your podcast? Like, what makes your podcast unique? Well, I may not want to just sit and listen to somebody's story. Like, what's going to drive your podcast? How are you going to sell this podcast?"
And I'm a double answer that, right? Because at first I was like, I'm Iris. That's why.
Yeah,
But in truth, I did respect because he is somebody that's established, so he's
yeah,
doing something right. So I did respect that question, and I'm like, okay, so you got to be able to bring them somewhere. That's what I took from that. So I have that, but also I feel like with originality and truth, authenticity, like you don't have to fake it for the world. You don't got to tell them everything, but at the end of the day, you know how you have a safe space to be honest and open.
hmm,
You're more open to telling the truth, and I feel like that's what I bring to the world or to the table, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna laugh because I'm probably gonna tell you first. I done been there, done that, and when I
hmm,
did it,
yeah,
out. But guess what? Look, see, I'm alive, healthy, and well. I moved on, and so that gives people the space to say it's okay to not be perfect. I didn't give up,
yeah,
so I'm winning. And that's what my podcast will bring. It's going to bring an atmosphere of productivity,
yeah.
positivity, and be pretty doing it.
Yes.
I, that's one of the most important things to me.
Okay.
You're going through. If you look good, you're going to feel better.
Hmm. I agree.
Three of a lot of different looks. Like I've been in a space to where I had to have a talk with myself. Like, Iris, get yourself together, girl. So
Of your looks, what's your favorite one? Because you can do some things to some blonde now. What's your favorite look that you've had?
honestly, that's hard to tell because I'm gonna tell you why. I like to dress according to where I'm going.
Yeah.
Like what I would wear if I was going to Miami, I probably would not wear to something that I'm going to locally.
Hmm.
Color wise, I like long hair, but blondes they do have fun.
They
And there's
do.
many different tones, so it doesn't matter your skin tone. You can
Yeah.
be blonde one time in your life.
You have to listen. I tell people all the time. They. It's not that they don't believe me because if you know me, then you know me. But I used to be a honey blonde, and when I say I used to eat down some honey blonde hair. I just that was a time. That
Yeah.
was a time in my life, and I did. I enjoyed it. Like I started off with the short hair, was honey blonde, and then it gravitated into the long hair. But listen, I agree with you. You should definitely just go
Yeah.
blonde at least once in your life. Just even if this is a wig, just throw it on.
I say
Feels.
every throughout the year. If it's a weekend while you're in Jamaica, go blind. Even
Just
if
go
if
on.
you're the most serious person on earth here, you can go off and be blunt.
Yeah.
And then, because I feel like as a woman and a girl's girl, you have to be versatile. That's how you win.
Yeah, that's how you win. I like it. I like it. So listen, the name of your podcast, the Unapologetically You podcast, it is a space where people can show up in their authentic form. They can show up with who they are. And so if you had to describe yourself, how would you say that you show up authentically every day?
Hmm. Honestly, just knowing when I get up some days that I'm in a little season of not being, I don't even know how to explain it, right? Slowing down a little bit, paying attention. So I
Okay.
feel like letting things play out, being positive, taking accountability for things. So I feel like in that space, I get to genuinely display who I am because anything can come your way and set your mood off. And so just being patient and calm and paying attention to how I respond, I'm able to show up how I feel on the inside and not how the environment or somebody is creating a situation to make me
Yeah.
respond.
So you consider yourself to be calm? You consider yourself to be, are you someone who's compassionate and caring, like a go-getter? Because I describe you as a gold digger. Like that's what I see when I look at you, when I read your bio. You've overcome things. You are constantly striving for things. You decided to do your own podcast after having a podcast that failed. You decided to come back as yourself. So in your authentic state, is that how you would describe you, or what other adjectives would you give to yourself for someone who doesn't know you?
So calm is not my first word to describe myself.
Yeah.
Um, Genuine, I would
Okay.
say,
Okay.
but I okay. So I turned 40 in May. Right?
Hey, welcome to the 30. Wait, I can't say 34th. So I'm gonna say
40.
welcome to the 40. What do
It's
we call the 40 club? Because it was 30 flirty, 40 and fly is what I've heard as well. How you describe your 40s? Girl, be careful. Okay, I'm gonna let you do that, and I'm gonna give you some advice. Then I'm gonna give you some advice,
um,
okay?
you have to. So it's to me your second spin of the 20s. Um,
Yeah.
you get to make mistakes at 20. 40, you got to have it together. You've had 20 years to do the trial and error.
So
So
you
when
had 20 years.
when we say calm, everybody's going to be like, calm? Because I
Okay.
was nowhere near calm in my 20s, right? But in
Yeah.
my 40s, I slow down more now. And I'm like, okay, be quiet. You see how I'm training myself to be calm, be quiet,
Uh-huh.
not a space for you to talk. I've always been genuine, but you may have seen me be more explosive or quick to respond or react in my 20s and 30s, but my 40s they're going to be who I really am on the inside. And so calm is the new me, whereas it wasn't, you know, back then.
Listen, I am all about regulating my nervous system. Do you hear me? And calm sounds good to me. So if I have to say no, if I have to ignore, hey Z, how you doing? How you doing? I see you in there. Listen, if I have to spa, if I have to listen to some good jazz, some good music, I'm all for it. So I love a good calm nervous system. So showing up in your calmness is amazing, and it is something that you should treat yourself with in your
Mhm.
40s, because I feel like I used to always hear it like your 40s are when you stop caring what others feel about you and you embrace who you are. Your 40s, you still can give yourself permission for still striving for the things that you have not done, but 40 is like that state of being settled. Like you should be settled in knowing who you are. You should be really on the brink of that self-discovery, if not already fulfilled. You're getting close to it. I'm just going to tell you, Iris, experience this, but take it from me. And it's scientifically proven, but I'm just going to be real with you, okay? Be real genuine with you. Them hormones, Iris, okay? You get you a good one. You hear me? You get you a good one. That's gonna be good to you. That's gonna be genuine. Because when I say them hormones do this, I don't know where it comes from, but you just like, what the heck? It's like in your 40s as a woman, it's like a male coming into their own. Like your and what I'm talking about, this is grown folk stuff, but like your sex drive is off the charts.
Nothing wrong with
And it is factual, it is scientific, but it is just your body just goes through changes. And so I just think that, a lot of women in their 40s, it is that exploration time, but it is a time of great maturity, if you can be with that one person. Because I'm telling you, you're at your peak, right? And so I'm just giving you a forewarning. Okay.
it. It's it's my story, and
Yeah,
however I choose to write it, I am okay with it.
I'm okay with it too. I am okay with it too. And I see that you like to vacay and all of that. And so I love to tell you what I love. I love looking and not necessarily living vicariously through anyone, but I love to see a woman who is grounded, who knows who she is, but she's having fun in life. Like I think it should be like a prerequisite before you leave this earth. Have fun. Know what fun looks like just know how to be able to enjoy yourself with who you are, and accept that, like, as a woman. Like, I love for a woman to just boss up and just show up as herself and have fun. We can be the mother all day. We
Mhm.
can be in the corporate space all day. We can do all of the things. But I for one just love to see joy all over a woman's face. And so, you seem to know how to do that.
Now I have been working on that. I actually
Good.
um have been through a lot of different seasons in my life,
Yeah.
but I got to a point one day where I'm like, I'm not going to be fat and 40, and nothing wrong with it, right? But this is a personal thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my weight together. I'm going to look good. I never wanted to be that woman that was consumed so much with the world and work and being a mom and kids that I let myself go. So I started to focus on myself. I still do all the lovely things for my kids, for my family, but instead of me scratching off self care for Iris, I started to put that first. And
Yeah.
with doing that, little bit by little bit, brick by brick, I brought myself back to what I loved when I was 20.
Yeah. What
But
was
with sauce now, with sauce, because I promise you, with wisdom and knowledge,
Yeah.
it's better. Like 20, you may have looked good, but you were naive or you didn't know any better. But 40, to be in control of your happiness and look good, it's amazing.
Yeah. Isn't it? I love it. I love it for us. I feel like at 40s, we should probably say at 40, you should know better.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. And that's where Unapologetically You podcast comes from. Like, I can really sit down and have a conversation with anybody, and they can be at their worst. But in that conversation, we are going to figure out a plan.
Hmm.
It's easy. You wake up the next day and just have that first thought that I'm gonna win. When you decide to win over losing, and but be unapologetically about it, because I don't have to say a sorry a million times for things that I did in the past. Hey, I'm gonna fix those wrongs, and I'm gonna start building to be unapologetic. And those stories, somebody watching it can be like, you know what? I'm starting over today. And
Yeah.
that's my goal.
Yeah. When you say that you stop apologizing for those things that you have learned you know, from mistakes that you've made in your past, and you say that you're gonna move forward and you make that decision, Iris, how do you do that? Like, how do you personally do that? How do you decide to do that instead of dwelling on the past?
The past, it never like, okay, if I am saying, I'll be honest, right? I used to get in a lot of like fights and just reacting out of emotion. And I'm known for being a pretty girl. So everybody's like, how is that pretty girl getting into all these fights? And I would never start the fights or, never initiate them, but I participate by letting a person involve me or me responding. And so that's where the calmness comes from, like, be quiet. This is not going to be where we're going to deal with this at. We're going to deal with this later. And so it's those little things and tests of life, like that wisdom that you gain to be better. What do I want people to see? I don't want them to see how I reacted because they were sitting over there and didn't know what was going on. I want them to see my heart. And
Yeah.
they can't see my heart by me always having to tell my story. So minimize those situations that are going to cause you to react out loud. But I also use those same stories to help the people that are doing it to say, hey, I did it. So I'm not above you. But look how correcting it gets me way further than
Mhm.
it reacting this way.
Good stuff. And so you've been in this podcast space for a minute. Your first podcast that popped off was at 2023, or was it 21?
No, it was 23, about 2 years ago, right? That
Okay.
would have been about 3 years.
So up until this point, what what do you see the impact of your podcast being, transitioning from the P Room podcast to the Unapologetically You podcast? What imprint are you making?
It's going to be a full layout of the creative vision that I had for the P Room,
Yeah.
but just didn't get to fulfill.
Mm-hmm.
And so the little things that I got started with, we got a lot of traction. But I feel like I lost all those subscribers, all those
Yeah.
views when it went wrong. So now that I'm 100% in control of what goes on in this new space, I don't lose it. I
Yeah.
get to build and build and build. And it's rewarding that if I do lose it, it's strictly off of me. It's not, off of any other terms that I lost it.
Yeah. Do you feel that, I don't want to say, I'll just say, do you feel the pressure in terms of getting the subscribers, the followers? Do you feel the pressure of having to have certain guests on or talk about certain topics? Because we've had some celebrities, internet celebrities, celebrities within their own right that have hit Polk County. And like, do you or did you ever feel the need to jump on it to say, oh, if I had this person on, my ratings will go up or my subscribers will go up? So it's a business play. Let me get that person on. Like, do you feel the pressure to do that if it's outside of what your podcast stands for?
Of course not, because everybody, so I'm not a hype person, right? I don't follow the trends because of the trends. If you see me trending, it's because I like it. Um,
Yeah.
a part of being authentic is following your heart. So it may be the person that does not have the millions of likes that like. I'll give you a prime example. I just interviewed Charlene Norwood, and she has a platform, right? But she's not a celebrity in what we quote a celebrity.
Yeah.
But feedback that I got back from our conversation
Yeah.
was so heartwarming that I was rewarded with that.
Yeah.
Now, one day when I choose to invest in a celebrity, I will.
Yeah.
But I love everybody, and so I'm not going to pay for a celebrity just to sit you on my couch and then now everybody. No, we're gonna do this one step at a time. And I'll be honest, I was in line the other day getting some food, and the girl behind me was an author to a book. So I'm like, okay, God, I
Yeah.
see you moving. And then my friend, Marquisia, she's a hairstylist. We did a random. Honestly, we talked about doing it. What year is this? 2025. We talked about doing this recording in 2018. We are going to do it on a live, right?
Yeah.
And so one day, a guy, Kendrick, I got to give him his credit. He was like, I love the P Room. I want to work with you guys. And so it took forever for us to set it up. And so right before we were supposed to record, a couple of the girls was like, we got stuff to do. We can't record today. And so I said, Kendrick, I was like, hey, do you think you want to just record with me? Now, there was no unapologetically you, right? It was
Yeah.
just, I have this creative vision. I want to do it behind the chair with Marquisia because she's a very high profile stylist. She does like I see her gift, right? And so I was telling her like, let's go behind the chair. Anyways,
Yeah.
it was so unique how it just came together that day. And she told me yes, she didn't give me any feedback. And so of course everybody knows she did Peach McIntyre's hair and then she did Yanti's hair. And so that podcast that we recorded so long ago
Mm-hmm.
makes so much sense. So she wasn't what you call Whitney Houston or a Mariah Carey celebrity, but guess what? She's a celebrity without the title yet.
Yeah.
And I got to do the podcast and I
Yeah.
have it on my platform. So I do got a celebrity, right? And
Yeah.
coming. So it's just gonna all fall together. And I know it because a lot of the conversation we discussed recording that
Mm-hmm.
when Yanti said, hey, put my wig on and no glue, I made a clip of it. She had already manifested that on
Wow.
the with me
Yeah.
before she faced that situation. So it's gonna all make sense.
It
No,
will.
I'm not jumping with the I'm not a hype beast because I know who I am.
Yeah.
Um, it's all gonna make sense.
Yeah.
I
It.
will do some celebrities, but I'm not running there firsthand because
Yeah.
it's gonna come.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. And so I'm so glad that you have that shared perspective with that. And yeah, that's amazing. I really do. I dig that because I'm like you. It'll come, and it's gonna come. Like just hold tight. Like that consistency. I feel like in this space is what's very 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 important. Hey, Samika, what's up, twin? She's saying, hey, Jazz and Iris. So thank you for tuning in, Samika. Make sure that you are sharing this. Make sure you guys are commenting. Share your thoughts. I see Felicia Fletcher checked in. Thank you, Felicia, for checking in. She says it's in the failure that helps you grow.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. I want to definitely segue off of Felicia's comment that she just stated because you know that this podcast celebrates the power of the comeback. And so, Iris, I really want to discover like what do you consider to be your comeback story?
I I'll be honest with you. If I take it back to the
Hmm.
20s, I'm always coming back because anytime I face something that I don't feel was a success, it's a failure, I start to plan a comeback. Now, when we talk about the podcast world, I wanted so much for my group of
Yeah.
girls to hit the high rise, but that probably wasn't in everybody's, desires to do it. So instead of me laying down and giving up,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I take my little bricks and I'll start to build on my own. But since I've done that, just being a guest on your show has been an honor. Um, People that come to me and say, I like that interview. I like what you're doing. So it showed me that I can do it by myself.
Yeah.
Um, what I think is a good idea because they love it. They love it. And my one little rose is going to grow into a million roses. And when I'm able to pass them out to everybody in the world, then I'm going to be like, I started from a seed, and
Right.
so it's fulfilling. It's
Yeah.
serving my purpose.
Yeah. So someone asked me or asked us if we knew Michelle Three. And I do in fact know Michelle Three. I actually one of my friends introduced us. Michelle is such a phenomenal philanthropist. She is a caterer. She does all things, community servant, community leader out of Lake Wells, Florida, and she definitely has a phenomenal comeback story. I think Michelle has been on my podcast twice now, and I've helped her with giving back and feeding the community. Like if it's anything that I ever see that she's doing on Facebook where she's trying to feed the community, like I think it was either a year ago or 2 years ago where she fed like 500 people. Like she had this dream of like 500 and she did 500 dinners for people. She gave away toys around this time, toiletries, just everything just fell into place. And we did it at the mall in Lake Will. So yes, I do know Michelle Three. Definitely
I know
Iris
her.
you haven't tapped into her, definitely she would be a great guest for your podcast because she does have a great story.
I
Um,
I wrote she wrote a book, so I
oh,
called her today, and she
yeah,
gave me so much about being an author. And two, I watch her lives a lot of times.
yeah.
You don't even know it. Sometimes she go live and she's like
Just
speaking,
speaking to you.
just absorbing it. Because I found the space that's what I'm hungry for.
Yeah,
That growth. That like I don't want to do anything negative. I don't gossiping
yes,
is makes
yes,
you sick and want to lay down. Anything positive makes you grow. So I watch her stuff a lot of times when she go live.
yeah,
If I wake up in the middle of the night and come across it, I'll watch it.
yeah.
She's a beautiful person. She does a lot for
Oh,
my hometown at that. She's from Lake.
okay, so you're from Lake Wells. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that. All right. Hey, Simone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, fam, how you doing? I appreciate you tuning in tonight. Iris, I want to go back to the group podcast, right? Because I've
I'm listening.
thought about the group thing, right?
Hmm.
I thought about it. Like I will say that when I started this podcast, because this was definitely birthed out of my comeback story. And so I have always wanted to have my own show, whether it was a radio show, talk show. I really just strive to have my own radio show. That's what I really in life wanted to do. And so when podcasting came about, my vision, I only saw myself doing it. But then there were shows that sprouted out, like the Sister Circle, etc. And I was like, wow, like I love the energy that they have. And one of the people that I really, really look up to in terms of this space that we're in media is Rayshawn Ali. And she just I loved everything that she was doing, right? And so I'm like, I love that power dynamic. You had shows like The View, you had shows, I can't think of the name of it right now, but they had Tamar on it, but then she wasn't on it anymore. But I can't think of the name of it right now. But you had those shows that started sprouting up. And I'm like, wow, I love that dynamic of women being able to be different, but they have a shared, goal. And then it's like I started to see the demise of these shows. And I'm like, oh hell, that goes back to my whole mentality of being very careful, when it's a lot of females involved. And I hate having that mind, that mindset, but it's like, is it something that inevitably happens? And then even in Polk County, like with your podcast, there were other female podcasts, because the crazy thing about it is you are more powerful together because you bring all of those different personalities, you bring your own crowd and niche with you as a collective in that podcast space. But I was always hesitant. And every time a female podcast come to me and it's a group, and I'm like, tell me how you guys forged this kindred, space together. Tell me. I always ask questions. I interview. When they ask me questions, I ask them questions. And I'll say, okay, tell me how you guys forged this relationship. They'll tell me how they forged the relationship. And then I'll say, do you all have common goals? And I'll say, is that common goal that the podcast takes precedent over anything else? Because it's kind of, I equate that to a co-parenting situation, right? I treat it as if we ever were to break up as co-parenters, the child or the children should still be at the forefront of anything. Aside from anything we have going on, we got to push forward and forge that our child is set, right? And so I always paint the picture of, if you don't like each other today, your podcast, which is your business collectively, has to stay unscathed. It has to stay untouched. Would you be able to do it? They all say yes. And then where they are. Then I look up and I'm like, I don't want to say nothing, and I'm never gonna say I told you so, because it's never I'm gonna tell you that this is gonna fail. What I always tell people are things to watch out for. And if you can forge ahead and you can push through that, then y'all are good. Because I look at Poor Minds. Poor Minds is like, I get my little entertainment from Poor Minds. I love those girls to death. Like, they grew up they didn't grow up best friends, but they met one another, in their adult life. They had these shared experiences. They forged this kindred relationship that turned into them being best friends. And they started off their podcast by just doing lives on YouTube. And then it has grown into a great platform, but they have remained friends. And even if they bicker or whatever, we don't know about that because the podcast stays a podcast. Like we got to keep the podcast a podcast. But then you had B. Simone and her best friend that collided, and no one ever saw that coming. And now they're doing their separate things. And so I know that I feel like a part of your comeback story you did say was, being able to accept the breakup of the P room, but then to still forge ahead with your own thing.
Mhm.
How difficult was that? Like, were you guys friends before, or was it like people introduced you and were like, I think you would be good for the podcast? Like, how did you guys come together?
I was associated to each girl in a different way.
Okay.
Um, I will say that
Let me find out. We got Brazil in the building. Somebody from Brazil is saying they're from Brazil. So let's go international for a second.
yes, yes, welcome.
Yes, yes,
Thank you for
yes.
joining us. So I knew them all, and I
Mhm.
did agree before we went into business
Yeah,
that I would not let it end a friendship, even if we had to walk away from a business or a partnership.
yeah,
To answer that question you asked earlier about going into groups,
yeah.
I did later. Ask for the policies and procedures up front.
Girl, you better make me
I,
shut this computer down. And tonight's episode has been brought to you by.
'Cause I think
You
everybody
better talk your business.
I think everybody knows
Yeah,
how to act or what I think is the appropriate way to act. But one of the main questions I was kind
yeah,
of having some conversation with a close friend of mine today, and I asked for her to define loyalty, and her definition of loyalty was slightly different from mine, and so
yeah,
she said, I can be loyal to you, but still tell you when you're wrong. And so
yeah,
I, well, I think that there are some people that feel like loyalty is I'm riding with you, whether you're right or wrong.
yeah,
So that's where it broke down. What's the policies and procedures? If we're going to go into this business together from day one, even though I tell you my business is 9 to 5, let me post it so that you see it and you know better. And if you forget it, we have something in black and white to go back to.
yeah,
We didn't start with that. We started with a prayer and we started with a promise, but little bit by little bit, the elephants started to show up in the room. And whether they were big or small, the fact that we didn't have open, hard conversations,
yeah,
um, not in front of the camera because that looks good and that was fun, but behind the camera, that when you can't do those certain things, then it became just a little bit by little bit, it started to fall apart.
yeah.
And I do genuinely all love them. I can't be mad at them because I'm also learning. Iris, it wouldn't be an unapologetically you podcast. So I've had many situations like that in life that I I got told no over here, but I walked over here, and this is really where I was supposed to been all along. So
Yeah.
it's good. And I'll give you this little bit. I still like that group setting. So on
Me
Apollo
too. Me.
2,
Listen.
I'm down for it. Whether we're visiting each other's platforms,
Yeah.
the diversity is so nice because I have a very diverse group of friends in life, right? And I have one friend over here that's bought that life and will tell me, and then I have a reserved group of friends that are like, we don't do that. And so I'm the person always like, you might want to listen because,
Yeah.
and that's how you win. So I would say if I had to give you advice on that, ask for policies and procedures. Um, keep yourself like we were splitting, right? The P room at everybody had their equal shares. I don't think I'd ever do that again because you get to pull the plug anytime, right? And so I'm over here standing on unsolid grounds because when you pull out and want to leave,
Yeah.
so I will do it again. I just would have an understanding that nobody has to be committed other than me. So basically, if I record it with another group of girls, um, I'm not like depending on them to keep coming back
Yeah.
because I can only assure you that I'm going to show up every time.
Hmm.
So
I feel
hey,
like,
great music group.
listen. Right. And that's what it is. That's what it is. I feel like, first of all, Jason Alexander checked in. So hey, Jason, he is listening. Tell us what you think about this podcast episode so far. Ask us any questions that you would like. Pastor HB Holmes has said the power of the pivot, and that is absolutely instrumental in moving forward. It's instrumental in, in your comeback. You have to merge with those right resources and using them effectively. I was gonna say, I feel like in anything, like you stated, like you said, if I want to build a house, there's another human out there that has built a house that can tell me what
Mhm.
I need to do structural wise to make sure that my house is built on a solid foundation too. And likewise, when you go into new territory, and for a lot of people, podcasting is new territory because they are so many of them out there. People see it as an open space to just, okay, if this person can do it, then I definitely can do it. And so, yes, you can do anything that you put your mind to, but with anything that you want longevity with, you have got to do your due diligence. And your due diligence is to make sure that you do your research. If you don't have, like for me, I come from a broadcasting background.
Mhm.
So already I'm going to know how to captivate an audience in terms of being in front of a microphone, in terms of being in front of a camera. Some people are shy, but they have the most incredible stories. I have talked to so many people off of a camera where I'm just like, oh my gosh, why are you not sharing your story? Like you have it and you have a voice. Not like you have a space in a story, like your voice resonates with me. Like I could listen to you all day. Like some people take shortcuts and they leave out those elements. Like there are some things that you have to have in this podcasting space, because at the end of the day it is a professional space. It, like, what I liken it to, I liken it to how independent artists can be in a space or in a profession with professional recording artists. Like it to me, it is that comparison. You have people who have that professional sound, that engineering, that sound, that whole team behind them, because people have seen their talent and they want to sign them and they give them the resources that help catapult them. But then you have somebody who has that innate talent, but they're independent and they're doing it by themselves. They're gonna sell the CD outside of the trunk of their car because they're just gonna build up their following that way. But they are still competing. They're still in this, this huge space of recording. And so when you look at it, you want to be successful in this podcast space where you want to be up there. There are some things, there are some levels to it. So there are some things that you're going to have to do. And I feel like what I like in that, um, going into wanting to have a multicast ensemble of, personalities in a podcast. As I look at 85 South, I love their chemistry. And it's just like, I know that they are about their business, but they are individuals, like they're individually great and they just mesh together. But I know that there has to be a golden rule of this podcast is above anything else that we have going on. The same
Everybody.
thing when you were talking about loyalty,
Mhm.
you know, how DC Youngfly did not take on Wild and Out from Nick Cannon when Nick Cannon was fired from his own show, and and he did not take it. That's loyalty. Like, my gosh. Like, and then look at what came out on the other side of that, and it's like how many people would have done that. So it's just, you have to link with the right people or your business is going to plummet, which is your podcast. So I'm sorry, I know I cut you off with that.
Sometimes it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes I mean, I don't. If I just went down my life story, like I've been through something that was meant to um,
Destroy you.
destroy me,
Mm-hmm.
and I turned around and focused wholeheartedly on something that, and that again, that's when you say, when you, I have conversations with God all the time, and I'm like, okay, God, if I'm not supposed to be doing this, you know what I'm saying? Like, help me get it together, help me figure it out. And so he can very well help you say, I know you think you lost. I know you thought you lost, but I wanted you by yourself. I wanted you here. I wanted you to do this. So that's just how I feel, because I literally have people that walk up to me and say the exact same words. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hey God, I hear you. Like, it be the exact same words. And I'm like, there's no way these people don't even know each other, and they're feeding this, giving me a message, and it's the exact same words. So I take that, as I heard you, God.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm hard-headed. Sometimes, I mean, like, I'm hard-headed. Sometimes I don't want to hear it. And I'm like, you think so?
Yeah. He gonna let you figure it out. He gonna give you that free will, but he gonna be like, now you see what I was saying?
When I was like, okay, God, I heard you. So
So
I'm
be
building
quiet.
it a little bit by a little bit. I am also learning a lot. So I appreciate that, because I know, like, I'm not skipping the line. I'm
Yeah.
pulling the cheat codes. I'm truly doing the work. So it's like when I get my award or I get my degree or diploma in podcasting,
Listen to
I'm
me.
gonna cry. I'm gonna bawl.
Listen.
I earned this. I didn't buy this. I earned this.
Yes.
And I'm happy for that. Like, that's gonna really fulfill me.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you see as being some of the most important elements of podcasting? Because you have podcasts that are live on social media platforms. You have um, well produced podcasts that are, visual and audible. They're audio. You have some podcasts that are just traditionally audio podcasts. And so what element do you feel is essential or important?
Honestly, me personally, I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
I like what it looks like, but I'll tell you something. You gotta hold me. You gotta catch me. If I
Yeah.
look at it and it doesn't hold me, then
Yeah.
I'm, so it might catch my attention because it looks good, but the substance got to be there. And if
Yeah.
if it looks good and the substance not be there, you're gonna lose me anyways. So whether I hear it and it draws me, or see it and it draws me, what will keep me is what's real, what's authentic, because I think that's my personality.
Yeah.
And my community as well, because again, I have a lot of people that come to me and say, we can tell the difference. I'm not sure if they talk about me behind my back and I don't know it, but the people that do share with me, they're like, I like your authenticity. Like, I love that about you. And I appreciate that, because that's what I want people to love about me.
Yeah.
And I take constructive criticism. So if they give me something that's constructive, they may say, don't be so serious. Have some fun sometimes. I still take that into consideration. So
Yeah.
sometimes hearing it, because I have girls that say, I drive all day long and I listen. So I think it's important to be some of
Oh,
everywhere,
yeah. Yeah.
because I might not be able to keep watching your podcast, but listening to it, you're still feeding my inner soul and my inner happiness.
Right.
So visual for me is first, like I said,
Yeah.
but the authenticity will hold me. And then I'll start searching you to listen to you, because when I'm driving, I can't watch my phone. Uh,
Right. That's such a good point, because we share that same thing, because initially in this space, like, I was just on audio, but then I was like, okay, like, I'm starting to get more into the visual, and actually people were driving me to get into the visual, because, like I said, I wanted to be a radio host, and that I was good with that. Like, you don't have to, do all of that now, but if you see it, a lot of the radio shows are now podcasts now. Like, they turn their shows into podcasts, like the Breakfast Club. They have cameras in there now, right? And so it makes a difference, because you're able to reach more of a myriad or a diversified audience. So it's just, I feel like in this space, you're going to have to do what works with your analytics. Like, you're going to have to be smart about it, but you are going to have to be authentic too, because I'm going to tell you, if you cannot be authentic in this space, then you're going to be anything that somebody tells you to be for any amount of money. I won't say any amount of money, but for the money. Like, if you just have a number and you shifting who you are is okay to get to that number, then I feel like you've missed it. Like, and that's just my personal opinion. So I feel like with like you, this podcast is going to grow. It's going to grow. It's already an award-winning podcast. Like, I'm doing the due diligence, and I'm going to continue to do it, and really befriend, help whoever comes, after me, because there were so many people before me, and I love to grow. I love to learn. Like, why would you be stagnated? And so I wanted to ask you this. Not, I won't ask you the question of who has been your favorite guest, because I hate when people ask me that. I'm like, they all are. Every single one of them are my favorite guests in some kind of way. But what has been like one of your most memorable podcast episodes with you being solo on your podcast?
So look, I've been my own guest. I have Marquisia and I have Charlene, and I'm not saying them all, right? I'm not saying them all, but both of those ladies have served me in two different ways.
Yeah.
And I'll give you honestly, right? Marquisia is a artist to me.
Yeah.
The beauty that I love about ladies in their hair, for instance, when
Yeah.
you talk about, I know when I see Jazzie, she's gonna have on something new. Her hair is gonna be fun. Her hair. So Marquise is a stylist, right? So I wanted to go behind the chair so people could understand what it is that she does and how does she help pour into us everyday women with our hair and our looks and our versatility. And so what you look like is a part of growth.
Yeah.
And then when I met with Charlene, talking to her, she's the inside of you. So she's helping heal the inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those ladies come from two different corners of the earth. But if I had to sit Iris together, I'm calling Marquisia for my outer appearance, and I'm
Yeah.
calling Charlene for my inner healing. And that's how you win. And
Yeah.
so they equally meant so much to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just want to share that because it's not all about me, but those were the reasons that I connected with them. But as people send me different people and different ideas, I know that everybody's story has something that's going to help somebody else. Because
Absolutely.
I have people coming up in the future. I had a girl stop me in the store the other day and she said, I had a house, I was living here, I was doing this and doing that. And now I'm over here starting all the way over. And I'm like, that's one of my guests coming up in the future. So I'm even excited about that story because I'm like, girl, I got something coming and you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
And it's those truths that help people understand. I'm not the only one going through this. She's winning doing this way. I'm finna win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I'm gonna not only did I ask you to be my guest on my podcast because of our meeting,
Yeah.
when we shared that space with David Shands, because your personality did catch my attention. And off camera, like we kind of, I knew how I know you. So we have like a
Yes.
connection where it's like, dang, like I know that person. That person's been on my podcast before. That's why I love meeting people, because I truly
I've
believe,
already
I say
passed you.
this, like this 6 degrees of separation. Like, I truly believe it's like 6 people in between you getting to the person that you really want to get to, or it's just like we are all connected. It's just like 6 people in our way of like that connection. I just find that to be very interesting and true. But I loved your energy there. But like, in looking at the work that you have out there on social media, we have very similar podcasts. Like, they're different titles. The meat of it is very similar. And I always want to be an example of my genuine self, and my genuine self is I am always going to be a supporter to people that I feel who are genuine. I don't see anybody as competition. I see people as, someone that you can always potentially network with. Through you may be able to connect someone to their destiny. Like I truly believe that, when you feel something with someone and you see that they're on the same trajectory as you, why not, reach out to them? Why not express to them how dope you think they are? Because there's like what 4 billion people on this earth. It wasn't just you. God didn't just say it was going to be you. He was going to say it's going to be, you're the only person who can do it the way that you can do it, but you're not going to be the person for everybody. I've placed billions of people on this earth for that. And so I just wanted to just really introduce people from my audience to you, because I see the wonderful things that you are doing. And like you said, when you get that award for your podcast, when you are nominated for this win, and I love that confidence. I love, you know, that assuredness that you have in yourself. And I just want you to know that here at the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast, I am rooting for you and I'm here to support you however I can. And I just want you to keep going, because people are going to be blessed from the stories that you are able to tell, and the stories that only you are able to tell the way that you can tell them. So I want you to keep going. And I just wanted to just share this platform with you, because I'm proud of what you're doing. Right?
So in return, right? I didn't look at it that way till I hung up the phone with you, and I said she invited me on her podcast, and so I'll give you a few things that I thought about. Vaguely, I remembered my brother-in-law going on your podcast. It
Yeah.
was so long ago.
Yeah, it was so long.
I, I was somewhere doing something else in the world. Podcast was nowhere on my mind. But you're still here. So that is dedication. That is hard work. That is you putting your heart into it,
Yeah.
right? So that is like when you say pay homage. Like she been doing this. Ain't no way I can come in here and be competition with somebody who is doing this and doing this consecutively for all this time. So I have the utmost respect for you and your
Thank
platform. Two, you do a good job at it, because when I watch your stuff, it's like I'm like scooting to the edge of my seat, like,
you.
okay, I need to hear this more, because
Yeah.
you are pulling something out of your guests. You got a lot going on that I like, and I'm gonna be as I'm learning.
Mhm.
I do appreciate you being confident enough to say she can come on my platform.
Absolutely.
Because honestly, like it's an inner thing. A lot of people will not tell you
Yeah.
how they really feel on the inside. But when you invited me, I'm like, that's love.
Yeah.
I do appreciate
Yeah.
that so much. And anything that I can give to give back, I am here for it. Let
Thank
me know.
thank
As
you.
my little bitty, I ain't gonna say little, my big little bricks together
I was
to
gonna say, wait a minute now. What you say? We don't put
to,
little in front of anything that we do.
yeah, like because I'm learning it. And I pay my homage to you. You got it going on.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna come back and say, okay,
I got you. So now I can't hear you. Hold on one second. I can't. Let me see. I feel like I lost the volume. I'm gonna remove you and come back on. Okay, now try to talk now. Ah! I don't know what happened. Oh, so the volume. I don't know. You can hear me. Let's try you go out and then come back in. It's getting good. See y'all. Because every time it gets good like that, it's like, We don't want to see you happy. Let's go ahead and let's just do something else. Let's do something else. But listen, while Iris is coming back, I want to implore you guys, those of you that are looking, because I know that you guys are looking. Look, we have somebody from Brazil that tuned in. I'm liking it. I'm loving it. I'm feeling it. I really, I appreciate that. Hi, are you back,
Can
girl?
you hear me? Can you
I
hear me?
can.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know. But it's okay because I feel like, sometimes that enemy be working like, y'all a little bit too friendly. Y'all don't let them take. We letting them use us tonight. There's no separation in that. Like I just, it is a mutual respect. And I truly appreciate that you do share those sentiments because I pray that you are around for a very long time. I pray that God really orders your steps. He sends you the right people to your podcast. Hey Marshina. So this is another one. Marshina, you need to have Iris on your podcast. All right. You need to have her on Chat with China. All right. She's
I'm
another
down
podcast
for
host
it.
in the space. Let's get a girls forum together.
I
Let's
am here for
collaborate.
it.
Let's do some things. Yes, you're late, but you're here. You're good. We were gonna wrap up, but I wanted to just definitely give you your flowers and tell you that you are definitely a force to be reckoned with in this space. Welcome to this space. You're not a newbie. You're just here by yourself this time, which
It's
God
what it's
God
supposed
does
to
some
be.
things. God does some things for us, and He just makes sure that we get it together. Because
Yes.
sometimes, and I know you've heard this, we can't take everybody with us. Everybody is not meant to come with us on this journey, but He will send you the right people. And so I truly hope that you hone in on that. I'm gonna still be hopeful because even if it's not, like I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna just tell you what my vision
I'm
is. Even
here.
if it's not to have a consistent podcast where I share space with other females, where
Mhm.
it is something that is packaged up in a business together. I do want to have like pop-up podcasts where I invite women to share this space with me and we merge it that way. Like I want to have sister talks, sister chats. If it's like once a month or probably like once a month. I think I want to do it like once a month and it doesn't necessarily have to be the same women, but I just want to get perspectives from women when we talk about any and everything. So I think that's how I would feel most comfortable sharing space on this platform with women. So I want to do it so bad because I know the power of women.
Yeah.
We truly are more powerful together than we are separate. And then there's a lot of people in the podcast space that does that. And so that's what I'm taking from those who have come before me. So
And I'll be honest with you. This is something I learned because I work in sales. There's a million pair of black shoes. I got a few in my closet. So and they walk and they look different. So it can be done. And
yeah.
we can be talking about the exact same thing. And because I've learned
So she'll be right back. She'll be right back. I'm trying to see. Let's see. So what she was saying is that women don't be afraid to collaborate with one another. Number one, you know, what she was alluding to is having a lot of black shoes in her closet where they all serve their own purpose. They may even look alike. They're all black shoes, but each one is totally different. And so I want to say, like, whatever space you're in, whatever industry you are in, whether it's a promotion game, whether it's in education, whether it's in fashion, whether it's in hairstyling, whether it's in, you have your own catering service, there is a lane and there is space for you, whether it's hosting. Do you know how many other hosts that I'm just like, I love the fact that you are doing your thing, and I'm just going to tell you, whatever industry is in, the genuine always show themselves, because even in the spaces that I run in with other people, I can tell the ones who are truly, 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 truly truly genuine, because they are going to be the people that actually help you. They are going to be the people who actually say your name in rooms if they can't fulfill a job. They're going to pass it on to you, or they're going to say, hey, I know somebody who will be better suited for this. That's when you know that somebody's very genuine if they share the same space with you. And so, Iris, you were saying something. What were you saying about the black shoes in your closet?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
However, like black shoes are every brand, there's every make, and you don't have to compete to all have your space
Yeah.
and to look good. Because I wear some one place and one another, and I like them all. And I feel like that's how relationships can be amongst us as women and
Yeah.
girls. Know your space, be confident in it, and know that we can all look good in different ways.
I love that. And what a way to end this show with that, because that was so perfectly stated. Like, you better. Like, I'm absolutely loving that analogy. And so, Iris is the host and the creator of the Unapologetically You podcast. Iris, tell us how we can support you. How can we follow you and learn more about the podcast?
Well, I am building, so I'll be releasing things more and more as I grow. I actually launched officially winter 2025. For starters, it's easiest to search me on YouTube by my
Yep.
name, Iris Shepard. I have a Instagram. I do a lot of chit chatting throughout the day on my Facebook under Iris Shepard.
Yeah.
But most importantly, you can reach out to me through Messenger. I do have some things in the making, like I'm getting my website together. I'm getting my merch together. I'm going to be doing a pop up at Jason has an event coming up June 10th. So I'll
Yeah.
have a table there to meet and
I'm going to
mingle.
be there.
Excuse me.
I can't wait to see you.
Sure, please. Yes, Jazzie. Yes, I'm trying to get out more and start
Yeah.
mingling and socializing. And see my shirt here, my business
I,
shirt. I
listen.
brand myself. If I wish I could show you the back because it says subscribe to Iris Shepard.
Oh, I love that.
Um,
Girl, did you
but
see me? Did you see me?
what?
I am acting like you're in front of me and I'm talking about.
I'm trying to see my shirt. I was trying to let
But
me
I
see.
did see it. I did see it. It said, right, subscribe on YouTube.
Yes, to Iris Shepard. So I am I'm into taking classes. I'm into just trying to grow more and more so I can flourish
Yeah.
in my podcast. But I'm just being consistent with taking my steps one step at a time.
Okay.
So start with subscribing and
Yeah.
following to my YouTube. Search my name, Iris Shepard, and message me, whether it's through Messenger, um, my podcast. I'm really more Messenger is probably going to be the first thing because I think that's how you message me
Yeah.
on Messenger. But I'll be giving out some business cards. I'll be posting my emails and different things. So and you
Yeah.
should see me. Stop me if you see me in the streets. Don't
Yes.
mind, pulling up saying, "Hey, let's chat a moment," because I'm always down for a good conversation.
Good. Good, good, good. So listen, whenever I come across any opportunities for
Yes.
podcast summits and networking or whatever, just know I'm adding you to my list of, hey, you need to do this. So let's get it. All right. So I'm putting you in my tribe. All right. In
Thank
my
you so
podcast
much.
tribe.
And
All
anything you need from me, Jazzie, please let me know. Like I'm a girl's girl, and I'm
right.
always down to do what I can. If
I
I
appreciate
don't know how to do it, and I know somebody, I'm passing it on.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And I'm receiving it in 2026. I'm receiving it. I'm gonna stop like, yeah, no, nope. I'm receiving it. And
Yeah.
so thank you in advance because I absolutely will. Thank you. That's a part of learning and growing. You got to
Yes.
do it. Right?
Here for it again. And thank you everybody for watching. I can't see all the messages over here.
Right?
Sure I
They're like all down here.
stay on task.
You'll
But
see
I
it when
love
you go
so
back
I can
and catch the rewind.
yes,
And so
rewatch
listen,
it and
yeah.
record as much as
So
I
you
can.
have to listen and definitely if you made it to the end of this podcast, which I know you did, because this has been a great podcast episode. I want you to blow it up, right? This is episode 169. Special
Yes.
guest, Miss Iris Shepard, the
Yeah.
host and the creator of the Unapologetically You Podcast. Follow her on YouTube. Inbox her through Messenger if you want to be a special guest. If you have a story to tell, all right? And so I want you to make sure that you subscribe, you like, you follow, you hit that notifications bell for the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast on Facebook, IG, YouTube, and on your favorite podcast platform. That's JAZZIE, Jazzie Conversations with Jazz. Always remember that you can come back from anything with God using the right resources effectively in your willingness to do the necessary work. So I will see you back here on next Monday. It will be the last Monday of 2025 for episode 170. All right, y'all be jazzy out there. I'll see y'all later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Iris. Have a good night.
You too.